The introduction to Saddam's capture, from palace to spider hole, sets the stage for the dramatic fall of one of the 20th century's most notorious dictators. Saddam Hussein's descent from absolute power to a fugitive hiding in a primitive underground shelter represents a pivotal moment in modern history and the War on Terror. This point is crucial to understanding the broader context of Saddam's capture and its impact on Iraq, the Middle East, and global politics. It highlights the stark contrast between Saddam's once lavish lifestyle and his eventual desperate circumstances, emphasizing the complete dismantling of his regime. Two specific examples illustrate this fall from power. First, Saddam's opulent palaces, adorned with gold fixtures and sprawling across acres, stood as symbols of his iron-fisted rule and the extravagance he enjoyed while many Iraqis suffered. Second, the infamous toppling of Saddam's statue in Baghdad's Firdos Square, broadcast worldwide, visually represented the collapse of his authority and the end of his 24-year reign. Many experts and political commentators view Saddam's fall as a cautionary tale about the consequences of tyranny and the potential for even the most entrenched dictatorships to crumble. This perspective supports the idea that no leader is truly untouchable and that oppressive regimes often sow the seeds of their own destruction. However, the circumstances surrounding Saddam's removal from power remain controversial. Critics argue that the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq was unjustified and based on faulty intelligence, leading to long-term instability in the region. This alternative viewpoint challenges the narrative of Saddam's fall as a wholly positive outcome. Saddam's fall from power connects to various aspects of the main topic, including the subsequent manhunt, the political vacuum left in Iraq, and the broader implications for the Middle East. It sets up the contrast between his former life of luxury and the squalid conditions of his capture, emphasizing the completeness of his downfall. Moreover, it provides context for understanding the significance of his eventual capture and its impact on the Iraqi people, coalition forces, and the global war on terror. The search for Saddam Hussein was a massive military and intelligence operation conducted by coalition forces following the 2003 invasion of Iraq. This intense manhunt aimed to locate and capture the deposed Iraqi dictator who had gone into hiding after the fall of Baghdad. The operation was crucial to the overall mission in Iraq, as Saddam's capture would symbolize the definitive end of his regime and potentially quell ongoing insurgency. The search involved a complex network of intelligence gathering, including human sources, satellite imagery, and electronic surveillance. U.S. forces, aided by Kurdish fighters and Iraqi informants, scoured the country, focusing on areas where Saddam had strong tribal connections. The operation, codenamed Red Dawn, lasted for months and involved thousands of personnel. Two specific examples illustrate the challenges and breakthroughs of this search. First, in July 2003, U.S. forces raided a compound in Mosul based on intelligence that Saddam's sons, Uday and Qusay, were hiding there. The raid resulted in the deaths of both sons but did not lead to Saddam's whereabouts. Second, in December 2003, intelligence gathered from captured former regime members led to a farmhouse near Tikrit, Saddam's hometown, where he was finally found hiding in a small underground chamber. Many military experts praised the persistence and methodology of the search, emphasizing its importance in dismantling the old regime's power structure. However, some critics argued that the resources devoted to finding Saddam could have been better used to address the growing insurgency and humanitarian needs in post-invasion Iraq. The search for Saddam Hussein connects to broader aspects of the Iraq War and its aftermath. His capture marked a turning point in the conflict, boosting coalition morale and dealing a blow to loyalist resistance. However, it also highlighted the complexities of post-war Iraq, as Saddam's removal created a power vacuum that contributed to sectarian violence and political instability. The operation's success demonstrated the effectiveness of combined military and intelligence efforts, but also raised questions about the invasion's justification, as no weapons of mass destruction were found. Ultimately, the search for Saddam Hussein and his eventual capture became a defining chapter in the Iraq War, symbolizing both the achievements and challenges of the coalition's mission in the country. Operation Red Dawn was the code name for the military mission that led to the capture of Saddam Hussein in December 2003. This operation was a critical turning point in the Iraq War, marking the end of Saddam's regime and signaling a major victory for coalition forces. The planning for Operation Red Dawn involved extensive intelligence gathering and coordination between various military units. Task Force 121, a specialized team of CIA operatives and special forces, played a crucial role in pinpointing Saddam's location. They meticulously pieced together information from informants, surveillance, and interrogations of captured Ba'athist officials. Two key examples illustrate the complexity of this operation. First, the task force had to sift through numerous false leads and misinformation, as Saddam had an extensive network of lookalikes and safe houses. Second, they had to plan for various scenarios, including the possibility of armed resistance or Saddam's suicide, which required careful consideration of rules of engagement and potential civilian casualties. Military strategists emphasized the importance of surprise and speed in executing the operation. They believed that a swift, targeted raid would minimize the risk of Saddam escaping or alerting his supporters. This approach was supported by senior officials who saw Saddam's capture as a crucial step in stabilizing Iraq and undermining the insurgency. However, the operation faced several challenges. There were concerns about the reliability of intelligence sources and the potential for civilian casualties in a densely populated area. Some critics argued that resources devoted to capturing Saddam could have been better used to address the growing insurgency or to rebuild Iraq's infrastructure. The success of Operation Red Dawn had far-reaching implications for the Iraq War and the broader Middle East. Saddam's capture dealt a significant blow to the morale of his supporters and helped legitimize the new Iraqi government. It also provided a propaganda victory for coalition forces, although it did not immediately end the insurgency as some had hoped. In conclusion, Operation Red Dawn represents a pivotal moment in the Iraq War, demonstrating the effectiveness of targeted intelligence-driven operations, while also highlighting the complexities and challenges of modern warfare in urban environments. The spider hole discovery refers to the remarkable moment when U.S. forces located and captured Saddam Hussein on December 13, 2003, in a small, camouflaged underground hideout near his hometown of Tikrit, Iraq. This crude shelter, measuring about 6 to 8 feet deep and barely large enough for a man to lie down, came to be known as the spider hole, due to its confined nature and concealed entrance. The discovery of the spider hole marked a pivotal turning point in the Iraq War and the pursuit of Saddam Hussein. It symbolized the fall of a once powerful dictator, reduced to hiding in squalid conditions to evade capture. This event dealt a significant psychological blow to Saddam's supporters and boosted the morale of coalition forces and many Iraqis who had suffered under his regime. Two specific examples illustrate the impact of the spider hole discovery. First, the stark contrast between Saddam's former opulent lifestyle in lavish palaces and his capture in a dirt hole became a powerful image of his downfall. Second, the $25 million bounty offered for information leading to Saddam's capture went unclaimed, as it was ultimately U.S. military intelligence and ground operations that led to his discovery. Many supporters of the Iraq War viewed the spider hole discovery as vindication for the invasion and a major victory in the fight against tyranny. However, critics argued that Saddam's capture did not justify the war or resolve the ongoing conflict and instability in Iraq. The spider hole discovery also raised questions about the effectiveness of the U.S. intelligence community, as it took 9 months to locate Saddam after the fall of Baghdad. Some speculated that he may have received assistance from sympathizers or tribal connections to evade capture for so long. This event connected to broader aspects of the Iraq War, including the subsequent trial and execution of Saddam Hussein, the continuing insurgency, and the complex process of rebuilding Iraq's government and society. The spider hole discovery became a symbol of the challenges faced in post-war Iraq and the difficulty of transitioning from dictatorship to democracy in a deeply divided nation.